Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining this afternoon's webinar. We are going to be going through and looking at how to take a supplier flyer or PDF document and turning that into a website page. And then using that website page, showing you different ways that you can market the pages that you've created. So I first want to introduce myself. My name is Mickey Taylor, and I am the founder and CEO of Taylor & Company Travel. And I am also a monthly column writer for Agent at Home and Vacation Agent magazines. And as I say on every one of my webinars, if you are not currently receiving these free publications in the mail each month, you definitely want to sign up and start receiving these. And I just remembered I forgot to turn off my notifications, so give me 1 second to do this. Actually, it's already set, so I must not have turned it off from the last webinar. Okay, we're going to jump right in. If you have questions during the webinar, please put them in the chat section and I will work them in throughout the webinar. So I am going to work in a demo website today. And I usually end up always migrating to my own website just because that's where I'm comfortable and I have the most information and data in that website, of course, to show and prove my points. So for those of you who are new to Agent Studio, to get to the control panel, I scrolled down to the bottom of the website and clicked on admin. It would say log in. Since I was already logged in, all I had to do was click control panel and it took me right into the back end of your website. So if you have never been in the in the control panel of your website, you should make sure you get familiar with this. It's where all the magic happens for your site, and you should definitely be comfortable with that so that you can constantly be updating and changing your website. So to get started, the first place that we want to go is under Pages. So we're going to click on Pages and you will see two options, Site Pages or Create New Page. So under Site Pages, this will show you all of the different website pages that currently make up your website. Okay, and then obviously to create a new page, you would click on Create New Page. Now, what I'm going to show you, I'm going to actually show you how to create this page that I've already created, just to give you a little idea. Looks a little bit different in here. Actually, it did not save. So that was last week or the last time I did a webinar. We're going to make it a little bit different this time. So let me jump over to my website and just show you what our end game is going to be. It will be a little bit different than this one, but this will give you an idea of what we're going for today and how you're going to be able to do it. Okay, so Sea Dream Yacht Club currently has promotions for April sailings, and I've taken those PDFs and I've created a voyage overview of one of the sailings that is on sale. And also here is their promotional pricing. Okay, so we are going to take this promotion turn this promo into a website page and spruce it up a little bit and show you a way to easily create these and have them on your website. Rashida, my volume is up. Is anybody else having issues hearing? Just make sure that if anybody else is having issues. Okay, Stuart. Hi, Stuart. Great to see you. Okay, great. So it must just be an isolated case. That's great. So this will kind of be the end result. Now at the bottom of this page, I have a Travify itinerary, but we're going to just take the itinerary from that we turned into a flyer, and I'm going to walk you through the steps on how to do that from a supplier website. Now, each supplier site is different, so the steps will be slightly different as far as how to get the PDF if you don't currently have it. Okay, I need to jump out of my website so that I don't get confused. Okay, so the first thing that we want to do is we have to give it a name. So you're going to give April promotions. Okay, so now I type Sea Dream Yacht Club and I'm out of characters. So what do we do? Yikes. Let me just cancel out of that. What do we do when we're out of characters? Well, I usually just abbreviate April promos. Okay, now the page URL is exactly the page name with retyped. And then you can choose what page. Since this is going to be for promotions, we'll put it under that parent page. Now today I am working in the the professional platform. And with this one, as you can see, all new pages will appear as menus or options underneath each of the existing tabs. Okay, and I'm going to change. Now the content title, we can expand it because we don't have, we're not limited to 20 characters. So, and I do have my door open. It's about 75 degrees in Auburn today, so I'm trying to take advantage of the beautiful weather. Okay, so now once we have this, we're going to start, we need to grab the flyer. Now for the sale flyer, I already have it downloaded, but I will show you a little later how you can go and pull some of this information from a supplier website if you need it. So the first thing we're going to do is to click on the link button and we're going to upload. And I'm going to choose where I have that flyer. And whoops, I can't even spell cruises. Well, and of course I can't find anything. I just ran through all of this information earlier. Sea Dream, here we go. Brochure. Okay, so, I'm going to just grab this overview. We're going to pretend that this is the sale flyer for this page. Now you want to go ahead and you have to send it to the server or it won't work. Okay, and once I click send it to the server, it's going to input a URL here in the URL box. Just click OK, and it has pasted that URL link right into the body of this page. Let's see. Marianne says, this doesn't pertain to the free web page option, does it? Can we make changes to the free version? You can add pages to the free version. They're just going to show up underneath, like I mentioned prior, they'll just show up underneath as drop-down menus as well. Mary has a question. What about the URL of the supplier flyer being a secure URL? We were actually creating the web page for the flyer. The flyer is going to be a PDF because you don't want, if the flyer is originating on the supplier's website, you don't want to link your site to theirs because your clients can book on their website. So the reason why we're creating this page is so that you can create the page for the promotion and drive traffic back to your website. So when you're marketing this, whether it be through social media marketing, email marketing campaigns, whatever links or call to action that you have in those posts or emails will send the traffic back to your website, which is exactly what you want. So you don't want to send them out to your supplier's website. Okay, so it automatically added the link into the body of this page. Now there's one more step in order to create the link between the flyer, and we have to go up into the browser and we have to copy the address for your agency. Okay, so that ends after the .com, or if you're a .net, it's before the first slash. You want to copy everything prior to that. And then we're going to come back down to the body of this page and paste the information that we just copied. And this is the entire link for this web page. Okay, so we're going to highlight this and then we're going to delete it because now we're going to create an iframe for this page, an iframe in the PDF so that it sits right on your website. And to do that, the iframe icon is the globe, and when you put your cursor over it, it changes to an iframe. So we're going to click on that, and your cursor is automatically in the URL field. And all we have to do is paste the link that we just copied and created. Now, depending on how your website is laid out, meaning depending on if it's customized in the Elite plan, you might want to play around with a little bit of the width and the height. I'm going to just start with like 1,000 and let's do 1,500. Now, you want to enable the scroll bars so that if your flyer is longer than your page height, you will be able to see a scroll bar and scroll down to the bottom of the document. If you want to show a frame border, you just check off show frame border in the box. And then we're going to click OK. And what we get is an iframe box in the middle of the page. And it looks like we didn't do a lot, but that is actually the entire flyer. And it's already centered, so we don't have to do anything else. So let's go up here and let's save the page. And then when we go back to promotions, here's the name that we created. And there's the PDF. Okay, looks pretty good. But you don't want to just have a PDF. So the next step of this is to show you how to enhance this web page. But before I go on, does anybody have any questions about just how to upload a PDF and turn it into a page onto your website? Any questions at all about anything that I did? Okay, so far so good. I use this tool a lot because I have a lot of sub pages on my website. So this is one of those page types that I have everywhere across my website. So you will, if you like this layout, it is a tool that you will probably start using a lot of as you start customizing your website, doing more marketing and promotion on your website. Okay, so now, like I mentioned, the next thing is you definitely need to have a call to action on this page. You don't want to just have a flyer out there and nothing else. So we're going to go back into the control panel. Pam says, would love to see you do this again. Sure, absolutely. That's, let me go and start a new page and walk you through it again. Okay, once back in the control panel, so I'm going to click on Create New Page. And we'll give the page a name. Trying to think of something. Let me go down and actually grab the flyer first. I'll grab something different and then I'll give it a name. So what I did was you have to upload this first section, or first couple steps is actually just getting the PDF onto the server, which is where your website is housed. Okay, so if you're someone like me that likes to know exactly what each step is doing or accomplishing, I'll add in that extra information. So once you click on the link, you need to upload. We're going to upload the document. So we're going to click on Choose File. We're going to go out to where you have your files stored. And I'm going to grab, going to grab a flyer, a hotel flyer. So here's a fact sheet. Now, this is the key. This will not work if you don't click Send it to the server. So I'm going to click Send it to the server, and it automatically is filled in the URL and created this URL for us. Now, let me jump up and see. Demetra, one more time. Okay, so I'm going back through. You need to upload it from the supplier site to your computer first, correct? Yes, Mary, that's correct. So you want the flyer to be housed on your computer somewhere, whether it's in your iCloud or the cloud or your hard drive, wherever you store your files. Demetra asked, just showing where you got the flyer link. Not sure what your question is, but you did ask for me to go through it again as well. So hopefully this will answer that question. Denise says, this is great. will we get a copy of this, as I may have missed a few steps? Yes, at the end, the replay will be available by the end of the day tomorrow, and at the end of the webinar, I will show you where you will be able to access the replay files, and you'll also get an email tomorrow, about 24 hours after the webinar ends, which will also share the link with you on where to find the replays. Kenneth, his question is there a way to set the page to expire when the promotion expires? There isn't any way to do that. But what I do is I put a reminder when I set pages up like this. I put a reminder on my calendar for like the day before, or even the week before. Like if this is a cruise, I just did this for the Sea Dream April sale. So a week before the sale ends, I put a reminder on my calendar to take the page down. And I will show you how to either make it inactive or to delete the page as well. Oh, okay, so Demetra's good so far. Okay, so back to now we've created this URL automatically. So we're going to click on OK, and that has given us this link in the content body for the page. But remember, we have to put our website address in front of this, or else it won't go anywhere. And we get that by coming up into the browser, and we're going to copy everything up to the first slash. Okay, because I'm in a demo site, my address is .agentstudio.com. Some of you still may have that as your address as well. Or if you've purchased a domain with your agency name, this will be a little bit different. Like mine is Taylor and Company Travel, taylorandcotravel.com. So that's what I copy. So whatever the name is, the web address that you put out over all of your marketing materials for your web address is basically what you copy up here. So we're going to copy that and then paste it at the beginning of the link that's already pasted in the body. Okay, so now we have this entire link that we're going to highlight and copy and then delete it. So it seems kind of we're creating the link and then we delete it because we're turning this into an iframed page. And then up the iframe is the globe. So we're going to click on that icon. And the very first box to fill in is the URL, and that's what we just copied. So now we're going to paste the URL into that box. And again, we're going to add put in a height and width. Do 1500 again. Enable the scroll bars. And if you want to show a frame border, you would fill in the checkbox beside show frame border. And then once we've done that, we're going to say OK. And you'll see that when I click on the iframe, the box in the middle, it looks just like an empty box, but right in the middle of it, it will say iframe, and that's really it. That's all it's going to show us. Now, one thing you do want to do is make sure that you click on it so that it's highlighted and then center it on the page. Because if you don't center it here, it's not going to show up as centered content on your page. And now the only other thing to do is to come up and I wanted to make this page relevant, the name and everything relevant to the PDF so that you can tie it in a little bit better. And this is Coco Privé. We're going to put lookbook. And then I retype the same thing in the page URL that I type for page name, spaces and all. When you hit the space bar, it puts a dash in between the words. I'm going to put this under hotels since this is a lookbook for a property. And the web page type stays the same. And for the content title, I'm actually going to use the same title as I used at the top. You don't have to, but it fits. So I'm going to use the same content title. And this is what's going to show up at the top of the page. And once I filled in that, now here's a step that don't forget in your real live web pages, you want to make sure that you're filling in all of the SEO information at the bottom of the page. And then once you've done that, just click on Save Page. And now if we go to hotels, here's our Coco Privé lookbook. And this is information that is all about Coco Privé. Okay, any questions? We do have a few additional questions, so let's see. Kenneth has a question. After uploading the PDF to the server, can you delete it from your computer or do you need to keep it? Nope. You can definitely delete it if you don't need it anymore. Once you've uploaded it to the server, and it is a good idea to get rid of that information on your computer so you're not taking up a lot of your hard drive space. But yes, definitely can delete it. Great question. Mary's question is, I'm trying to do this. Where do we go to get our address? Just our website address. So when you're in, let me jump back. So if we have the page open, and we'll assume that we haven't created the link yet. All you do is come up to the browser up at the top of the page, and you're going to go to the first slash and then highlight and copy everything to the left of that slash. So Mary, I like that you're trying to do this along the way with me, that it's a great idea to do that. It's a super simple process, but if you don't do the steps in the right order, it isn't going to work. Ray's question is, if I am to select an agent page from a cruise site, is the process the same? Yes, it would be the same for, and I'll show you what I do when if I don't get the flyer in the mail or through email, sometimes I'm out and I like to work with AM Resorts a lot. So I might be on their webpage, or if I go to a cruise website. The only thing you do when you're on here, whatever it is that you want to pull from here, you just need to make sure you've saved it as a PDF. And let me grab something. Let me click on the Symphony. Okay, this is a video. Let's see. This is why I hate the cruise lines web pages, because they lead me in a circle. Mary, I did that, only has my web address and it doesn't link. Okay, Mary, I'm going to pull a PDF or pull something from this website, and we're going to walk through it one more time. So and then kind of follow along and see where you might have missed a step. Okay, so I'm going to assume that this is something that I want to pull from their website. Now, if this was an actual PDF document, all we have to do is open it up and save it, obviously. But sometimes we want information that isn't in PDF format. So once this web page is open, if you go up to File, now I must say that I'm on a Mac. Okay, let me see, Kenneth. I'm so sorry. I got a phone call when you answered my last question about the need to keep the PDF. No, don't be sorry. That's perfectly fine. You do not have to keep the PDF on your computer. Once it's uploaded to the server, it's good to go. You guys have great questions. I love this. Audrey asks, are these webinars archived in case we need to revisit the instructions? Yes, they are. And I'll show you where they will be at the end of the webinar. And can you add the RCCL video as well? Yes. To iframe in, I'll show you how to iframe in the video. So we're going to use this information. All you have to do is go up to File and click on Export as a PDF. And you can save it anywhere you want to. I'm going to stick it on my desktop so I can find it, because this is just to show you. And then I'm going to open up Adobe. And I'm going to grab this PDF. Now, there are some things that you'll want to clean up on the PDF. Okay, the first thing that I usually do, let me move this, is come in and I edit the pages. So you can look and see a lot of this you don't need. So you can delete some of this out. Now, this is not a great example because it didn't come out really well, but I just want to walk you through the process of how to do this. So when you do find something that you want to add to your website, you know the steps to do it. I'm just gonna delete a couple of these pages. And that's the end page. Okay, obviously you would want to do some more cleanup on this, but for the sake of the webinar, we're going to use this. Let me see. Mary says, I can get the PDF uploaded and paste it into the page content. When I go to copy my web address, it has. Actually, Mary, you only want to go up to the .net. You want to copy everything from here, from over. This is all you need to copy from your web address. And can you have more than one file in an iframe? You need to have if you want more than one file, you can add two PDFs together and then upload that as one iframe. You can have more than one iframe within a page. And you would upload them the same exact way. I need to get there. I need to move this. So to answer your question, Kenneth, yes, you can have more than one file in a single iframe, but you must add those two PDFs together. And to do that, you would also do that in Adobe. And if you aren't that familiar with Adobe, I strongly suggest you watch a few YouTube videos. I use Adobe like, my right hand. I'm in it all the time. I use it for everything. And, there's a lot of great YouTube videos out there to give you, the basics on the platform. But it is definitely, you'll save yourself some aggravation if you spend, 30 minutes to an hour just learning what you can do with Adobe, because it's fantastic. Let me see. Okay, so I think I have answered all the questions so far. So I'm going to save this. Whoops. Again, I'm going to put this on my desktop, and I'm going to use the same name. And then I'm going to close out Adobe. And now this is the website. If we go back into our control panel to create a new page, we'll do the steps again. Symphony cabins. Okay, parent page, you would select which navigational menu across the top you want your page to fall under, and this is a cruise, so I put it under the cruises page. MPH, Symphony cabins. Okay, so the first step is to always click on the link. Let me see, before I start that, there's a few other questions. Ray, I'm on a site where I'm on a training for a specialist course. They have a cruise agent page. Is this the same process to use to add it to my website? Ray, I'm not exactly sure I understand your question, but if whatever you want to pull from this training specialist course, if it is, if you're pulling that out and saving it as a PDF document, or it could be a Word document as well, but you don't want, PDF is just a safer way to save information and turn it into a website page. So whatever you're pulling from this specialist course site, just make sure you're saving it as a PDF, and the steps would be exactly the same. All right, so again, the first thing that we're going to do is click on the link. You're welcome. And the first step is to click on upload and grab the document that we want to turn into a web page. And that was here, the accommodations. And don't forget, you have to send it to the server. What this is doing, it's taking this document from your laptop and putting it on the same server that your website is housed on. So think of it as putting this PDF on the same plate as your website. So if your website is one piece of bread, this document's the other piece of bread. You need both of them on the same plate in order to make the sandwich. And to do that, you have to click send it to the server, and it's, what does this say? Illegal, oh, okay, so the name of this document has, it can't have any punctuation. Let me, whoops. Okay, so here it is. So I just need to remove this. Okay, now let's choose the file again. Send it to the server. And it automatically created this URL for us. So once we click on OK, it's going to paste that entire URL here. Now, in order for us to say, hey, this is part of our website, we need to put our web address to the left of this entire URL. And again, we get that by going up into the browser and highlighting and copying everything to the left of the first slash. Okay, and then once it's copied, we're going to paste that to the front or to the left of the link that was already in the body. And now this is a complete website or URL. Now we're going to copy this. And once you copy it, then you're going to delete it. And now this is the section where we are going to create the iframe. And as you put your cursor over these little icons, you will see you want to click on the globe, which is the iframe. And then the first box to fill in is the URL, and you just paste the link that we just copied and deleted. And then again, just play around. This will be a little bit different for everybody, and depending on what look you want on your page, the 1,000 and 1,500 isn't necessarily going to be what you want to use every time. You can just play, you'll play with it until you figure out exactly what you want those to be. We want the scroll bar enabled, and we want the iframe border, and then all you have to do is click OK, and you'll see it put in the iframe. Okay, so we want to center this on the page, and once we do that, the only thing that's left is to save the page. And now we should be able to go here, and there is the page that we created. And there we have it. Okay, obviously this isn't a really good PDF document, and you wouldn't want this on your site looking like this, but for the sake of the webinar, it served the purpose. Let me see. Renita asked, I went to the Agent Studio website on YouTube and located the instructions to add a page. I was able to stop and start so I could write the instructions down. It helped prepare me for today's webinar. I totally get it and understand the process. Wonderful. Yes, definitely. If you didn't take notes today during the webinar, you will definitely want to go back to the recording, go through it slow, and once you do that and set up pull in your first PDF and turn it into a web page, the process will become second nature to you. I had Sherry on the phone. She was trying to walk me through it the first time I did it, and I didn't have a clue. So then we had to get on a screen sharing session so that I could see what she was doing, because I felt like she was speaking to me in Greek. And then once I had the steps written down and walked through it a couple times, then it's super easy. So it might sound a little complicated right now. It's really not. Renita is absolutely correct. Once you write some notes for yourself, it will be easy for you to follow. Debbie says, if you have a PDF that looks like this, can you go back and resize it? Yes. So great question. To resize this, we're going to go back into the control panel. And I have a bad habit of, before we Agent Studio added the HTTPS, the secure certificate to all of our sites, I could just click the back button on my browser and it would open up that page I was just working on. I could make any changes, then save it. But now when I go back, because it's secure, it will make a duplicate copy of that page. So as you can see, I still have a bad habit of wanting to go back there. So to get back, you want to go into the control panel, and then we'll go back to pages, and we'll click on site pages. And now this is where we'll go back to We just did the cruise one. So to change the height and the width, we're going to just open it back up. We're going to click on the iframe so that you get this big blue square. And if you click on the iframe icon again, you can come back in and change the height and the width. Maybe 800 by 1200 works best with the way you have your site set up, or how you want this page to look. Just say okay. Doesn't look like it did anything, but it did. And then we'll save the page. And now when we go back, it's going to be smaller. So you can see it's in more, there's more of a frame around. Okay, so it's super easy to do. All right, let me go up. We have a few more questions. I love all the questions, so definitely keep them coming. And you guys are asking things that, like the question about, can I delete the PDF after I upload it? Let me see. Mary, I did that. Kenneth, I think you are talking, you misspelled your page URL, if that matters. I think you were sending that to Mary. Okay, it worked, but my website address doesn't show as a link when I attach it. But I went through it all and it worked. Okay, perfect. Can you set a color for the background of the iframe? You can't. There isn't. Well, I don't want to say you can't, because I'm a firm believer that everything is possible. Let me look at something and think a little bit. So Ken, when you're saying for the iframe, you're saying if you want this gray space to be another color. The only way I can think to accomplish that would be in the PDF itself. And that would be to take in maybe Photoshop, where you would have just a solid, whatever color you want this to be, and take your PDF that has the actual information on it and turn it into an image, and then you'll paste the image onto the solid background. So basically you would be iframing it in, and you wouldn't want to make your iframe size smaller. You would want to still do like the 1000 by 1500, and it would show this, say it's pink. This would be pink because you created that in with Adobe. Yeah, that would be the only way I can think that you could do that. But it is possible. I told you, I make Adobe sing a song, so you can accomplish so much with Adobe. And I always think that there's a way to do everything. Now, if you asked maybe a really technical person how to do it, I'm sure there's a different way, maybe a more quote unquote correct way to do it. But that's a way that I know that you can accomplish that. Denise says, this example is likely what would happen when I try this. How do I know which PDFs work? So if they're documents that are already created from a supplier, they're going to work. So this right here that I created, this happens whenever you basically take a web page and you want something off of that that isn't already created into a PDF document. Sometimes it takes a little bit of work to get this to look the way you want it. Other times, if I want something from a supplier, I reach out to them before I do all of this and say, hey, I'm looking for a PDF with all of your room categories on it. for instance, if you don't find it on their website. And 9 times out of 10, if they don't have it, they'll create it for you. But with these big cruise lines, they have pretty much everything under the sun. So this right here, Denise, you just have to watch what you're exporting as a PDF. But anything that is already, like if I go and download a brochure, the brochure is already going to be laid out perfectly. So if we go, let's go to AM Resorts. Travel portal. And if I log in, it might have already logged me in. Yeah, it did. So if I come, and I think AM Resorts has the best brochures ever. I like how they have their information laid out. So if I come in here to digital resources, whoops, media site resources, sorry. And I come down to brochures, product guides, okay. And let's just go here, select one of these. And this is going to English. So when I click on this, this is already in a PDF format. Down here at the bottom, I can download it. It will automatically open up into a PDF. So this is automatically perfectly sized. Okay, so anything that's already set up like this will work. It's just when you take an actual web page, like this. If I wanted this right here, this middle section, if I do file export as PDF, it's going to give me this entire page. So then I would have to do some manipulation to get rid of this on the left-hand side. But other than that, like every PDF will work perfectly if it's already set up. Okay, so I think I answered all of those. Okay, so let's go back into, let me get rid of this, some of these pages. Let's go back in and fancy up the page. So as you see here, I've taken this information and I turned this into a hyperlink. So that links out to an actual PDF. And I have this video iframed in as well. So to show you how to do that, we're going to go back into our control panel and open up one of the pages that we created. And we'll do this one. This was the nicest one. So the Coco Privé. Now, if you want to add at the top, you want a book now button or inquire now. I have a tool that I use and I can send everyone the link to it that I use to create the button. But if you just want the words inquire about Coco Privé. Okay, so we can turn these words, this is super easy, into a link. So all we have to do is go out and get, I'm going to pull up my site again so that I can grab a form. Trip inquiry. I'm going to copy the link, and if you use Jotform, whatever you use for your forms, all you need is the URL. So this looks a little sad. It's kind of small. So we want to change this up a little bit. Change the color. We're going to change the size. We want a different font. Okay. Now, if we highlight this and do the same thing, here's the link. Now, to make that a hyperlink, all we have to do is paste the URL that we just copied. Then I'm going to say okay, and then save this. And if I go to hotels and I pull up this page again, now inquire about Coco Privé. Anybody that visits your page, they can click, see that that's a hyperlink, and it will take them right to your form. They can fill this out with all their information, submit it to you to inquire about this trip or whatever you're promoting. Tiffany says, what if you have multiple domains? Will it work the same? Tiffany, I'm not really sure what you mean by multiple domains. I mean, obviously I know what multiple domains is, but I'm not really sure in the context of this webinar what you mean by multiple domains. Whatever, wherever you want this web page to be. So if you have ABC company, ABC agency, and 123 agency, whatever website you want this PDF to become a web page on, that is the name, the website address for your agency that you want to use. Because otherwise, if you create this and you use the wrong name, it's not going to show up on the website that you're in. If that makes sense. If that didn't answer your question, explain to me a little bit more about the domains. Now, somebody asked, I think it might have been Debbie. Somebody asked about, oh, Christine, okay, asked about the video. Yes, it's easy. It's super easy to add in a video. Now, I'm a little odd about adding videos. The same way with my website, I don't want to send someone, I want everything to lead back to my website. I want to keep them all in my little bubble. So I'm the same way with videos. So when I was working on this Sea Dream page, this was on their YouTube page. I went and asked them, hey, I want some of these videos. I don't want to send them to your YouTube page. Well, right on their agent portal, I could download all of their videos. So once I downloaded them, I could then upload them into my YouTube page. But you don't have to go through all of that if you don't mind sending visitors out to another page. I'm just super weird about that. I don't like to send Coco Privé. Let's see what's up. Or if it's, I also watch where I'm pulling. If I do have to send them to a page, I want to make sure that it's the actual supplier page and not like another agent's page, YouTube page. So just do a little bit of your research. But for this, we're just going to grab one of these and to insert this, all you have to do is come to the page, whether it's your page or whoever's page, and click on share. And then this menu pops up. But you don't want to just share it, you want to embed it. So when you click embed, you'll get this iframe code. So copy this code And then we're going to come back into the page. And again, I need to go back into the control panel so it doesn't create a duplicate of this page. Okay, let's put this right under here. Okay, let's make sure we have a little space. Looks pretty even. So you can do one of two things with this. The easiest way is to, because we have the entire iframe code, all you have to do is come in to click on source. And this is the code that makes the page work. Okay, you can see here's the iframe. This is our PDF that we added. That was the lookbook. And then all this is at the top. This is the name. And we turn this says inquire about. So that's how you can tell where you're at on this page. You want it in between. These are the spaces that I just added. So I'm going to come in between them and I'm going to paste this code. And if I come back, click on source again, there's our video. Now it isn't centered, so we come in here, click the center button, and that's it. That's all you have to do. But if we click the iframe, or I'm sorry, if we want to do it a different way, I can delete this, and there's a YouTube button. So you can come up here and click YouTube. And if we paste the code, now you have some other options. You can give it a size, a width and a height. Now, show suggested videos at the video's end. I never have that on. And I click enable privacy enhanced mode. And if you want this video to start at a certain minute or seconds, you can put that in here as well. And then click OK, and now we have the video again. I kind of like the second option better because I want to make sure that other options are not playing at the end of the video. I don't know exactly how YouTube suggests videos at the end, but you know, it depends. I love baseball, so if I'm looking at a baseball video on YouTube, it could show baseball at the end of, you know, a video. So I'm not exactly sure. So I always mark that to not show. And then let's save this page. And we can go back to this page now. Now the video is there. And then here's the lookbook. It looks pretty good. And this is the kind of information that keeps your visitors wanting to come back to see what else you have. It's no secret, videos and images sell travel. So this is a super easy way for you to add pages to your website. You can add your niche. You know, we're getting ready to do a honeymoon and a romance virtual expo through Travel Alliance Media Wednesday and Thursday. You know, if you want to do romance travel, you definitely should have some information on your website for romance travel. So if you look at my page, I have a whole I do section. Okay, this is just why use us. Here's some wedding styles, and what this is the wedding brochures from each of these suppliers. And I subscribe to a flip book, so I've taken the PDFs and turned them into magazines. Okay, so it just adds a little bit of, you know, flair to it. It's super cheap. It's called Any Flip. So it's, anyflip.com. It's the cheapest one. It isn't the most dynamic one, but it is the cheapest one. I think it's $10 a month. So it's a way for you to, you know, enhance your pages. But this brochure can also be, I've uploaded it from a PDF. So if you don't want to go that route, you can do what we just did, take those PDFs and turn them into a web page about a honeymoon or romance travel. So there's a lot of ways that you can use the brochures, the PDF documents to create web pages for your website and to make it your own. Let me see. Let's see. Christine said, that's awesome. Thanks. I do too. You're welcome. Audrey, please repeat what we clicked so additional videos do not show up at the conclusion. Sure. So let me go back into the control panel. And as you can see, my first inkling is to always click my back button. And it was so much easier just to click the back button and go right there instead of through all of these steps. But we don't want to have multiple pages. So to set up the video, if I highlight the video and click on YouTube. Now again, it's going to ask me to put the code in again, but it's right here. Show suggested videos at the video's end. It will by default be checked. You just want to uncheck that. And then you would paste your embedded code in here again. Okay, let's see. Shalita, what was that flip option you just posted? It is called anyflip.com. Super easy to use. You know, I was looking, I tried out a lot. I've tried out some that you have to buy and that they're a lot of money. At some point, I would like to, you know, produce a digital magazine. Maybe then I would invest in one of the more advanced ones. But for just turning PDFs into a digital magazine, AnyFlip is super easy. It isn't hard to learn and it's cheap. So it's a great option. Let me see. Let me scroll back up so I can make sure I get all of the questions. Kenneth asked, is it legal to take screenshots from supplier pages to add to your site? Yes, if yours, and I do that a lot. I use a screenshot all the time. If you're utilizing that information from their website to promote and sell their products on yours, they don't have a problem. But if you take a screenshot from, say, Royal Caribbean and then use it to promote Carnival and they find out, they might have an issue with that. But as long as you're utilizing their information to promote and sell their inventory, there isn't a problem. Debbie asked, Debbie wants to know about videos too. Okay, thanks. I couldn't remember who had actually asked for that. Mary, what about using your own videos? Yes, definitely. And to use your own videos, just make sure you upload your videos to your YouTube channel, and then you would do the same process. It works exactly the same. But it does have to be, and to embed it into your agent studio site, it has to be, you know, either on YouTube or what's one of the others, Vimeo, one of those. It has to be in on a platform that is specifically for videos so that you can get the code from somewhere. I tried the other day to upload, I had asked Shay if I could upload the Sea Dream video, and right from my computer, and I can't. It has to be YouTube or Vimeo, and I'm sure there's some other third-party platforms out there for video that I don't have the names right in my head. Kenneth, how do you have full page photo for your homepage? That is done through, first of all, you have to be on the Elite plan to customize your homepage completely. And it is done, if you're on the Elite plan, let me know and I can walk you through. Like, we could do a screen share. I could tell you exactly how to do it. It's just a little trick. In your control panel, there is, whoops. Under site customization, and this one doesn't show me. It doesn't have all the options because it has to be in the Elite. There, it'll say customize homepage, and you play around with the size of the image. So it definitely has to be, you know, a really good image so that it doesn't get distorted when you're increasing the size of it, but you play around with the size of the image. So Kenneth, again, let me know if you're on the Elite plan and want to do that. I can show you. We can set up a screen share. Kim asked, would this session repeat in the future? Yes, I'm always repeating, you know, creating new pages, and how to change up your website all the time. I would do it once a week if Agent Studio would let me, but they like me to cover other topics as well. They're also, in a few minutes, I'll show you where to find all the replays, and you can go back through and look at some of the previous webinars on creating website pages because they're all a little different. Who do I contact for website customization and SEO help? If you want Agent Studio to customize your website, you would email, I think it's you can definitely do support@agentstudio.com. You can also do support ticket and tell them you're interested in customization of your site. And I think that the actual email address is customdesign@agentstudio.com, but don't hold me to that. The best way would be to put in a support ticket and then they'll get back to you. And for SEO help, Denise, we do, I have SEO webinars that I do every month. So you can jump on one of those. Or if you want to hire someone to actually do SEO work for you, I have never worked with any companies. I'm actually, where I go to, my go-to source for additional information is, you can Google Niall Patel or Founder, F-O-U-N-D-R, is the name. And that's the gentleman. He has generated or created this dynamic group of professional techie people that know everything. And some of the stuff is free, some of it's paid for, but even the free information, when I have 10 minutes, I'm always going to their page. And I just, before this webinar, shut down like 10 different pages. I was looking at some new SEO stuff because I'm always trying to learn more about SEO, but those are great places to go. To look at some professionals and to get some ideas. Let's see, Debbie asks, how do you copyright your own videos? There are some apps that, let me see if my iPad is charged. There are some apps that will do watermarks. I did have one, but I might have deleted it. I don't think I have it. Yeah, I must have deleted them off of here when I switched to a new iPad. So if you just Google watermark apps and you can put a watermark on it and have it be like your logo, and you can also add text, so you can put copyright and put your agency name. Shalita is sharing, websitemagazine.com is an awesome free resource. Thank you. I'm definitely going to utilize this. I'm always looking for, I spend my time always on the computer. And I'm going to put it here so I can do a bookmark with that. Thank you. Let's see. Mary asks, I need to have a YouTube channel. Well, if you have your own videos and you want to put them on your site, you have to either a YouTube channel, a Vimeo channel, or a page subscription. Vimeo, I think they all have like a basic free subscription, or if it's you don't have to have either one of those if the video you want to upload is on YouTube already and you don't mind, utilizing somebody else's information, whether it's a supplier or not. You don't have to. You can just get the code and utilize it that way. But with utilizing somebody that isn't a supplier, you definitely need to ask permission for them or give them credit somewhere. So unless it's a supplier video, you'll want to make sure you get permission. Let's see, a few more questions, and then I'll show you where the replays will be. Or just upload to you. You can't upload to YouTube in general. You have to either have your own page or account. So you would have to upload it that way. Kenneth says I am, but I'm sorry, I forget what that answer would be to. Okay, so these are all recorded, and I'm going to show you. Let me move some of these screens out of the way. Once the webinars are over, I convert the files and send them to Agent Studio. And then within 24 hours, they upload them to their YouTube channel. Whoops. And the email that you get, you'll get an email 24 hours after the webinar. And okay. Let's see. So we're missing last Thursdays, but Shay's been super busy. So it will probably be up by the end of the day today. And today's webinar will be up tomorrow. And they're all here. So you can scroll down through and see all of the videos. Okay. There are also some little short 30-second, a minute and a half, few minute like marketing tips from Agent Studio in here as well. Some are older, but right here starts 6 months ago is about 7 months ago when I started doing webinars. So any of the webinars from the past, like here's one, creating website pages. That one was a month ago. They're all great. I thought we had some more in here. They might have taken some of them out. Yeah, I thought, for some reason, I thought we had a lot more. But like I mentioned, each group asks different questions. So you definitely want to, if you have a chance, go back and look at some of the previous webinars, because you might learn something. Something might have been gone through that we didn't today. I have been asking that. Kim asked, you have training on location? That is something that's in my business bucket list. I definitely want to start doing that. Agent Studio hasn't been, it isn't something that they are looking to do, but it's something that I'm looking to do. And I think that there's a really big need for it to basically be, like a traveling workshop. So come to different areas. And so I have thought about that. So that might be coming in a few months. So keep checking back. And I also added an agent for agents to my blog page, which is Miss Travelist, because I have info and information that I want to share with agents, but I didn't have any place to put it. It didn't fit into anything else. And I didn't want another blog. So I recently just added this page. There isn't anything here yet, but there will be within the next week. There's a new technology that I'm working with so that it will change the way you recommend destinations to your clients. So it's that'll probably be the first thing that I post. There will be a form that you can fill out if you're interested, just with your name and email, if you want to be kept up to date when the big reveal is going to be. So definitely look back there from time to time for some new information. If there isn't, I know I kept you a little bit longer. I could probably do a half a day seminar or webinar on just how to create new pages and information for your website. But I know that everyone is super busy, and thank you. Kim says, hope that will come true. Fingers crossed, it's a pretty good chance. So, and Debbie says, I love your website. Thank you. I say that's my third child. My youngest daughter is getting ready to go to vet school. So once she went to Auburn for her first year of college, I needed something to occupy my time. So that's when I really dug in and started learning everything about Agent Studio and how to update my own site and do all of that. So that is where I spend most of my time. It's always on the computer. So thank you. I appreciate that. Thanks, Pam. Pam says, great job. Audrey, I mean your previous webinars. So let me see. Audrey has, the previous ones are every webinar that is on, every webinar that's on the Agent Studio YouTube page is is one of my webinars. So you go back into YouTube and go to Agent Studio and click on their videos page. It will show all of anything that's like around an hour long, they're all mine. So that's how you can find those, Audrey. Valrenita, thank you for your time here at thebomb.com. Thank you. I appreciate that. Denise, fantastic training. Thank you so very much, and great site. You're welcome. Debbie, very informative webinar. Thank you. Audrey, great. Thank you. You're all very welcome. You're the reason why I love to do what I do and help you grow your business, make your website exactly how you want it to be, so that you're proud to share it and drive all your clients back to your website. Mary, thank you. Great info. And Kenneth, thank you so much. I always learn something new from you. Well, I love that. That is the reason why I like to do what I do, to teach you something new. Kim, I appreciate that. She says you don't sound like having a sound like I have a college kid. Yes, she's actually my youngest. So I appreciate that. Don't forget, if you haven't signed up for the virtual romance expo, that is tomorrow, Wednesday. Yeah, tomorrow's Wednesday already. Wednesday and Thursday from 2 to 5. And you should have received an email from either Agent Studio or Travel Alliance Media, Travel Pulse. It would be the romance, virtual romance expo, I believe is the exact name of it. If you haven't seen anything on it and you're interested, just email me, and my email is in your webinar confirmation. Oh, Wedding and Romance. Thank you, Shalita. Yes, it's the Wedding and Romance Virtual Expo. Those are super great events that are free. You don't have to leave your home. They do live webinars with some of the provider or suppliers, and they all have some documents, whether it be their wedding brochures or their resort brochures. So I always make sure I pull all of those PDF documents and save them, because you never know when you might need them. So great resource, and it's free. So definitely weddings and honeymoons. Okay, perfect. It's the Wedding and Honeymoon Virtual Expo. And I think the Agent Studio webinar is Thursday at 2:30, because I'm going to be on that answering some questions about how to market to the wedding and honeymoon client, and some info for your website. So jump on that if you have a chance. Thank you again for joining. I appreciate it. I love all your questions. It was a great webinar today. And I apologize for keeping you a little bit longer, but I like to make sure I answer everyone's questions. And hopefully I will see you on another webinar. The February classes are up, and I've already started working on March classes with Shay. So some changes. There's some new changes with the automated social media platforms. So even if you've been on one of those webinars in the past, I will be sharing some exciting updates about Instagram that has recently been updated that I know everyone's going to love. So I'm doing one of my automated social media webinars is the whole hour is about Instagram. So definitely look for those and sign up. Looking forward to seeing you all on another webinar. Enjoy the rest of your day. And again, thank you for joining.